Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Bryan Peña on the line. He's Chief of Market Strategy over at MBO Partners. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
All right, Bryan, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about the workforce of tomorrow, and you're the guy on the line talking about that. But before we go into that, let's go a little bit further into what you're doing over at MBO Partners. Tell us a little bit more about the firm, please.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to talk about it. MBO Partners, we are a workforce solutions platform that has visited this for up to 25 years. We kind of like to joke internally that we were in the gig economy before it was a gig economy. Our mission is to enable enterprises and individuals to work together. And kind of our tagline is helping people do the work they love the way they want to do it. We do that through a number of different engagement options, both for individual professionals who want to start their own consulting businesses, as well as working with some of the largest enterprises on the planet, helping them engage what we call their independent talent.
So at the end of this, I'm going to give you an opportunity to leave a website or whatever contact information you want to leave so that people that are interested in MBO Partners can follow up. That being said, just so that the right types of companies and or industries connect, is there any, and there may or may not be, but is there any specific industry you focus on or type of or size of business versus another, just to give us a flavor?
Yeah, absolutely. So what makes our business unique is that it really, most companies engage what we call extended workforce people who are not on their full-time payroll, but nonetheless contribute to the enterprise success. We call that the extended workforce, or kind of the contingent workforce. There are a lot of ways that people engage contingent workers or extended workers: through consulting partners, through business process arrangements, through temporary services agencies, or engaging individuals as independent contractors or independent professionals. We specialize in enabling independent professionals working with enterprises. That's really what it boils down to. The ideal operating assumption, or kind of the operating model that I often use, is the retired executive who retires on a Friday, on Monday decides he wants to open his own consulting practice. Well, he'll reach out to MBO and we'll help him become what we call enterprise ready. Able to work with Fortune 500 companies. He has a website set up. We advise on business structure, and we create basically the back office function. That's what MBO stands for, My Biz Office. And the original kind of company structure was to help independent professionals build their own businesses and enabling them to succeed in the independent economy.
And that's awesome. And that's amazing because you've been doing it for so long. You're like, gig economy, what? That's a new word. We've been doing that.
Exactly. We've been doing it for so long, so we're old hands at it. I think we're probably the oldest gig economy company in this respect.
That's amazing.
And most companies engage extended workers, as you would imagine, but we do have really strong penetration in consulting services and professional services, as you would imagine, because they use a tremendous amount of highly skilled independent professionals to succeed. You know, a lot of these companies don't have very deep benches, so they leverage companies like ours to help them engage independent and skilled talent to execute on their existing projects.
That's awesome, and I think that lays the groundwork, and it's a good transition also for to go further into today's topic. So the future of the workforce, I mean, big topic. Where do you want to start with this one?
Wow, it is a big topic, and one that we could probably spend several hours on just to get started, if not teach a college course on it. I think that a couple of things. We're in a really transcendent moment in time where technology, legislation, as well as organizational appetite for change is as high as it has ever been. And, you know, a lot of companies are reassessing what it is to engage people, what's the best way to get things done. And while this particular conversation is taking place during the COVID pandemic, these discussions have been happening for decades as companies reevaluate ways to become more efficient, become more agile, and to have access to the best possible talent. So we see a real rise in companies taking a holistic look at not just the type of jobs they want to have, but what type of things that they need to be doing at the organizational level. It's not uncommon for some companies to have more than 50% of their kind of dedicated workforce be made up of non-employees, like I mentioned before, extended workers. So if we can go on the operating assumption that the job of tomorrow is no longer going to be about a role, but about a task or a project, or it's being balkanized and broken up into different component parts, organizations are asking, what's the best way to do that? And at the same time, individuals are asking, what's the way that I want to work? How do I want to fulfill my career? I don't need to just simply go and work 9 to 5 in a particular office. I can work wherever I want in the world and trade my competencies for currency in any number of different ways. That's enabled through platform companies like our marketplace platform, or through companies like Upwork or Fiverr. You know, these are brands that really focus on very commodity type of skills and those sorts of things. But it's the skilled professional that I think is going to experience a lot more flexibility. At the same time, companies are recognizing that they have an employment brand. There's a huge universe of known talents they can take advantage of. People who have applied for existing jobs, individuals who are leveraging LinkedIn to create their own personal brand. Those brands have value on both sides. And so with the rise of platforms that enable people to exchange that brand value in real time, companies are realizing that they no longer have to employ people the same way. And individuals are realizing that they can work any way they want to and with whomever they want to. And statistics bear that out.
Yeah, totally. And I think the example that always comes to my mind when I see, and this is, again, I think this is before the term gig economy too, but when Hearst Corporation, so all of publishing, all these huge magazines, basically, you know, everybody became 1099, so and became gig workers, so to speak. And that's a huge company, but they have, you know, even being a freelancer for Hearst Corporation, I mean, that still had its brand value and equity there that allowed, you know, people to go out and work. So I think it's really interesting. And now to see that happening in, you know, more, let's just say, a more traditional landscape to where people weren't used to even maybe the word freelancer, right? Like that isn't part of their vocabulary. Now it actually opens up, in my opinion, opens up possibility for both the employer and the employee, or in this case, the 1099 or gig economy worker or whatever we want to call them, fractional CEO. I mean, all these different terms that basically mean they're not 9 to 5.
Yeah. You know, it's basically an idea that you want to monetize your own personal experience and skills. And the more than ever, there are opportunities for you to determine that relative value of what you have to offer. Now, at the same time, you hear a tremendous amount of negative connotation around the independent economy. And that's born out of the conversations on Uber and TaskRabbit, these companies that get a lot of negative press. And it's important to make sure that there are appropriate protections in place so that companies don't take advantage of people who are working independently. But there's a whole other universe of people, you know, who are highly skilled, highly sought out, have tremendous brand equity in their own personal brand, and are very happy. One of the things that people don't realize, we do a research study, we have done so, and we're entering our 10th year, called The State of Independence in America. And it's the longest running and largest study of its kind on the independent workforce. The average independent professional makes over $100,000 a year, has over 9 years of experience. They have anywhere from 3 to 6 clients that they work with, and they can choose who they want to work for. But they also are happier in every single measure of satisfaction. And that data is not just ours. It's the BLS data. Every time they've looked at this particular population of independent professionals, they are happier and more satisfied, and they have much more choice over the way they want to live their lives than full-time hires by every measure. And those numbers have been steady for the last 10 years. And so, you know, it's a really compelling value proposition, right? It's enabling people to work the way that they truly want to work, in a way that they can own the trajectory of their careers, and where they have choice over the type of companies they want to work with, as opposed to you know, being stuck in one particular role not every day. So it's a growing, continually growing segment of the economy, and one we think that will continue to grow more rapidly as companies reassess what it takes to get things done and how they you know, leverage human resources more effectively and in a more agile manner.
Man, that's awesome. So, Bryan, that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on MBO Partners or to reach out to you and your team, I mean, what's the best way for them to connect with the brand?
Well, they can go ahead and connect with the brand by going to our website, www.mbopartners.com, MBO, like it sounds, partners.com, all one word. Or you can email us at info@mbopartners.com, or you could reach out to me personally on LinkedIn. I'm happy to build my network and help enable people to live the lives they want to live and work the way they want to. It's our company mission, and I'm looking forward to doing that with as many people as possible. So please don't be shy about reaching out.
Fantastic. Well, Bryan, really appreciate you coming on the show today and giving your input on the workforce of tomorrow, and that's today. So I love it all. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're going through. And Bryan, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks a lot, Adam. I really appreciate it.